Now we've got the ball, and Dom has come inside, which I, as you know, much prefer. And he's played it into me, and then I played into Brandon. Okay, now at this moment, shape-wise, we should have another center mid here. I think Manny is, in this case, Manny came to help defend. So what should happen is I should move, and Manny should become the 6. But okay, doesn't happen. Now the thing is, Drew, this is exactly what I'm talking about. This is what pisses me off. 1, 2, 3. This is a straight fucking line. Sorry for swearing. I do not like this. I hate this. This is horrible. We cannot play out of the back like this. So then Elvis has very little option other than to give it to me, which is a good ball, to be honest. Then into Manny, which is a straight line pass, back into Zev, and this sequence worked out very well. But I don't like how we were all in a straight line for a moment. Even though it worked out, I still don't like it. Now, the beauty of this tempo was it was layoff, 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 which is what I did love. Now, at this moment, we need obviously go in here or to go back through the middle. Or Jaden, please give it to Ari. Give it to Ari, give it to Ari, give it to Ari, give it to Ari. More giving it to Ari, Jaden. More of that, please. Now, this is fine, and this is exactly what made me really happy. I talked at halftime, you know, when you give it to Miles, give him a slow pass. Miles, don't run all the way from over. This is perfect. You did exactly what I said. Miles keeps it, gives it to Ari. Look at us, all happy, super easy, happy days, and this makes me very happy. What's frustrating is right now we have the ball, and in the previous clip I showed you us breaking pressure. Jaden, I don't mind your spot right there. This is a good spot. We've been working on this spot. I'm in a good spot. Manny, I like your spot. In my perfect world, actually, what should be happening, this is actually a mistake. Manny, you should not be here. Brandon, you should be here. And Manny, you should be out here. So this is a mistake. Anyways, not the biggest deal in the world, though. But that's what should happen. So Brandon, you should come inside more. Manny gets it, gives it to Jaden. The problem is it's not a great pass, and now we've lost it again. And we've been taking on a ton of pressure. And mind you, as great as Jaden and Roberto and Brandon are, they're not really center mids. So we want to make their life easier with certain passes. Now all of a sudden they're on the break, and look, now they're in on goal. Not just on the break, in on goal. And then Brandon and then frickin' Elvis saves us again. And this is all, you know, it's just tight. It's not that big of a deal. We lose the ball, but it happened over and over. So in this future, Brandon, I'm going to take you responsibility. Brandon, you should be in here, and Manny should be there. Because then what would happen is then Brandon would get it and play it to Manny, and we'd be happy days here. Instead, Manny gets it, plays a okay ball to Jay, not a great ball, could go back to me, and then to Brandon, or maybe he could turn out, play to Brandon. This is not a bad ball, though. We've done it a dozen times. The thing to do with dummy is not a very good decision. But then, Brandon, because he did what I said, which is come inside, he's left him open. That's the consequence, which is why it's really frustrating, you know, losing it here. We're at a lot of risk because of what we do with our outside backs. So that's why Brandon needs to come in here and Manny needs to come out there. So because then if Brandon loses it, he can smash this guy before it gets to him. And that will solve that issue. Okay, this happened a lot in this second half. And look, this is me being guilty of it as well. I don't really have anybody. I could have played into Ari, but by the time the ball shifted, I think this guy would have been up his tush. And also that's wide. So we don't have a lot of options. I mean, this is all of our players. Either I give it to him, I give it to him. It was a counterattack that had just been cleared off the line by Elvis because he's a legend. Freaking saves us. Great save. Then passes to me. We're open. I should have given it to Ari right away. That would have been the move. I didn't. Then there's not a lot of options. Maybe I could have given it to Brandon. We go into Miles. It's not a great pass. It's not Miles' fault. I would say what should happen, though, in this instance, either Miles, you should be deeper, or Miles, when I look up, because I have a lot of space here, and this is something I want Andreas and Miles to do. Boom, I look up. This is when I want Andreas to start running, especially since you're going to be onside. Start running to make the run in behind. The problem is coming to feet in this instance. They're high pressing us, and by the time the ball gets to you, they'll be up your butt, and you'll have nobody to pass to. So when they're high pressing, this is the moment to, and timing is key here. So right here, right now, Andres, right now you have to be thinking, Zev's going to turn up and look. Boom. That's when you start to check in. And then when I take my next touch, boom, that's when you would have already been checking in. That's when you take off. And that's when hopefully I would be wise enough to ping you in behind or ping Ari in behind. And then it would drag him away and give more space for Drew. And Miles, same thing. I'm here. Now we're really deep, so it'd be difficult. So ideally, Andreas would do the running. Miles, you'll become deeper, and then I can play to your feet, and then we don't have to use Andreas, or better yet, I do use Andreas, and he's in on goal, because remember, look, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of their players. There's only 2 of them left back here. So that's the move. It's not in defeat, which is for me to see as well. It's into Miles over the top. And so maybe, Miles, you were making a run, to be honest, and I didn't hit you, which is possible. But that, when they're high pressing, that's when we have to do the runs in behind. And then we do great recovery. Watch, great defending. Drew, great ball, play out of it. Then we're fine here. Now what should happen is, I want the ball, so I go and get it. But what should happen is actually he should not pass it to me. He should keep coming up or give it to Ari. He should give it to Ari. In fact, give it to Ari in the future. But he could keep coming up until he draws pressure. Then I would have ended up in this space and we could do our build. The moment he's given it to me, we haven't broken any build. It's like passing for no reason. And then we're out wide, but we're still fine, right? Still tons of space. Play it inside. And this is, we can't really afford this to happen. Not if we're going to play our way. Now, I'm not saying we don't all make mistakes. We do. But this particular mistake where it's not a layoff correctly, it's so difficult because now we're taking pressure all over again. We did all that build for no reason or for a reason, but then it didn't work. And then here we are defending again. And this happened multiple times. My ball into Miles. Another example, that one. And then we keep taking pressure. We have to sort that out. And the only way I can see ourselves sorting it out is practicing it in training where it's a 1-2 and we all practice over hitting the 1-2. So here, if Drew does this same pass, but it's firmer, then, and he's thinking, okay, better I hit it too hard than not hard enough, then we're fine. But look, again, it's not wrong on his part, but it has a consequence, and that is a problem. Okay, then the goal kick. So I had given you guys 2 solutions. One solution being Elvis going really wide, which is something we are going to try and do. But in this instance, I'm open and you can play me quickly. Then I played to Dom plays. This is great. Gives it to me. Gives it back to Dom. Dom plays to Jaden. If this pass was a little bit more accurate, Jaden would play to me. Even though there's a straight line pass, that's okay, because Jaden would play to me and we'd be out. The problem is we're taking pressure again. We've screwed up. We've made 5 mistakes, all of us. And when all of us make mistakes over and over, that's really my job. I have to fix it. So that way we don't do it again because we're taking on too much pressure.